Before we begin, I want you to pause, not just scroll, because if your hands carry the mysterious letter M or the perfect crescent moon, you did not stumble upon this video by chance. This is not content. This is a compass, and this channel was never created for the masses. It was made to awaken the ones who carry the invisible blueprint of heaven within them. You may not know this yet, but some people carry divine architecture under their skin, etched not by the world, but by the realm that sent them. And if you've been feeling like your life never followed the normal pace, if you've always sensed you were walking on a road that others couldn't see, then welcome. This space is not for popularity. It's for prophecy. You, chosen one, are not watching this because of an algorithm. You're here because something sacred inside of you has been aching to remember. Have you looked at your palms and noticed how the lines curve into a perfect arc, forming what looks like a crest? You ever traced your palm and found the unmistakable letter M shaped by the folds of fate? These aren't marks. They're messages, visible signals of a soul with a sacred mission. From the outside, it may look subtle, but in the spirit, these marks glow. They carry frequencies that align with the divine. They are not random, they are requirements. You are chosen to carry them because you were born to carry weight most people could not handle. And this channel, it's more than a collection of ideas. It's an altar for the awakened, a lighthouse for the spiritually encrypted. Because we've realized something profound. You are not broken, you are encoded. Let me explain. The crescent moon is not just a phase of the sky, it's a phase of the soul. It appears at the edge of endings and beginnings. Those who bear its shape are transitional beings, people who are sent to walk between night and dawn. You know the darkness, but you carry the light. You were meant to help others carry through. And the letter M? It does not stand for your name. It stands for your mission, for mystery, for mantle, for movement. The spiritually coded rarely feel understood. That's because your soul speaks in riddles, dreams, patterns, numbers, visions. It doesn't speak the language of logic. It speaks the language of eternity. If you've ever found yourself asking why you keep waking at 4:04, this is your moment of clarity. 4:04 in the physical world means not found. But in the spirit, it means you've been hidden, not forgotten, hidden for protection. Because chosen ones aren't exposed, they're prepared. You were concealed for a reason. Listen closely. People with the crescent moon often experience sudden shifts right before breakthroughs. A storm arrives, but peace follows them. They are chaos whisperers. They have walked into broken rooms and unknowingly realigned the atmosphere. If this is resonating, you're not just intuitive, you're tuned. Your birth month. 2. Were you born in March? You carry the vibration of resurrection. August? You were coded with leadership and lion-hearted faith. December? You walk in endings and divine restarts. And if your birthday includes the numbers 711, 808, or 1221, your spirit has already received messages from heaven. You just haven't translated them yet. Let's decode that. 711, divine revelation after trials. A call to open your spiritual ears. 808. A mirror gate. What you give returns multiplied. Karma in alignment with grace. 1221, a twin-time gate, indicates spiritual pairing, mirrored paths, and doubled assignments. Numbers are just coincidences. They're spiritual timestamps. They appear not to confuse you, but to awaken you. Have you noticed how people often come to you with their burdens, even strangers? That's not coincidence. That's calling. You're not just empathetic. You're encoded to carry light where others collapse. But that can be exhausting. Because you were to be popular, you were given them to be precise, to walk where others refuse. to listen to what others ignore. And yes, sometimes that means walking alone. But hear this, aloneness is not abandonment, it's alignment. This channel exists to confirm what your soul has always whispered. You're not late, you're not crazy, you're right on divine time. So if you've been chasing normalcy, let it go. You weren't built for ordinary timelines. You were constructed with sacred disruptions. That's why you often feel pulled by things you can't explain. That's why you sense when a person is lying, even if they smile. That's why you hear the truth in silence and lies in noise. Chosen one, you don't need another sign. You are the sign. You are the signal others have been waiting for. And if your palms carry the crescent and the M, then your very existence is a prophecy in motion. Not written with ink, but with presence. So let me speak this truth to your soul. You, are remembering an assignment. And this space, this sacred space we are co-creating here, is not entertainment. It's activation. Before we dive deeper, let me pause and speak to your spirit with something personal. If what you've heard so far stirred something ancient inside you, like a memory that doesn't belong to this lifetime, then this isn't just a video. It's a conversation between destinies. You and I were never meant to be strangers. We were meant to remember together. So from one chosen one to another, I gently invite you. Subscribe now, not because it boosts numbers, but because it protects your path. Each new message here is crafted like a key, and the next one might unlock something you've been silently praying for. And now, I ask with sincerity, what kind of revelations do you need? Dream interpretation? We're not building a crowd here. We're building a circle of remembrance. Because when one chosen speaks, another remembers. And that is how light multiplies. Now let's move forward. In Block 1, we spoke of the sacred architecture of the letter M and crescent moon on your palm. But chosen ones aren't only marked by signs, they're followed by signs. There are messengers that don't use words, only presence. And if you've ever encountered certain animals repeatedly, either in life, dreams, or symbols, it wasn't by chance. Let's unveil more divine creatures that walk alongside the chosen. The fox, the coded trickster of discernment. If you've seen foxes in strange moments on a walk, in a dream, in artwork, pay attention. The fox does not come to deceive the chosen. It comes to awaken their discernment. It shows up when a mask is nearby, when something appears safe but carries a hidden agenda. Fox energy is subtle. It teaches you to move in silence and to see what others. With the crescent moon and fox totem are often called to expose lies, not by confrontation, but by clarity. You see what's under the surface. You've likely been accused of being too suspicious, when in truth, you're spiritually alert. Foxes don't bark, they whisper, and so do you. The turtle, the keeper of ancient codes. Have you ever seen turtles or tortoises crossing your path in slow, deliberate steps? They are time travelers, spiritual keepers of long-forgotten knowledge. Those with the M or the crescent moon who connect to turtle energy are often carriers of generational wisdom. You might feel older than your age. You remember things you were never taught. You hold pain that feels ancestral, but here's the revelation. Your pace is not delay. It is divine precision. Turtles walk slowly, not because they're weak, but because they are never off course. The horse, the windbringer. The horse doesn't arrive quietly. When it appears, it brings momentum. A spiritual. Horses appeared in your visions, or do you feel drawn to their image? Then it means your time of waiting is shifting. You've crossed the wilderness. Now you're stepping into your spiritual sprint. Horse spirits are sent to marked ones when their mission is about to go public, when their silence has served its time, when the private preparation turns into visible movement. To those with the crescent moon, the horse doesn't just mean speed, it means release. You're about to gallop through the gates that once blocked you. Get ready. The wind is coming back to your spirit. The frog, the gatekeeper of transition. This one might surprise you, but if you've been hearing frogs croak at night, or dreaming of them in watery places, there's a message. Frogs are not just creatures of nature, they are portals. Chosen ones who carry the letter M often go through seasons of deep emotional cleansing, times where everything is stripped, where the past must be shed like a skin. The rebirth through water, emotional resets, spiritual detox. Frog encounters mean your soul is entering a threshold. You're not who you were, but you haven't yet become who you're destined to be. You are becoming, and that's holy ground. The bee, the builder of sacred blueprints. Few realize the spiritual weight of bees, but those marked by divine symbols are often visited by them, especially during times of decision or building. Bees carry the code of community and destiny. They show up when you're about to start building what others will one day depend on. If you've been seeing bees, dreaming of hives, or even just noticing them more often, it means you've entered your architect season. And those with the M or crescent moon, you were sent to construct not empires, but ecosystems, realms where healing, hope, and harmony can multiply. You see, chosen one, animals don't speak your language, but they understand your light. They respond to the frequencies you carry. Creatures have been showing up again and again. You are not being haunted, you are being honored. These are not cute signs. They are living confirmations. You are not crazy. You are being seen by creation itself. And that means something sacred is underway. Let me ask you something intimate. Which of these animals feels like an old friend? Which one appears in your memories, dreams, or unexpected moments? Drop it in the comments, not just for us, but for you. Speaking it out loud affirms the pattern. It brings clarity. And when you write your recognition, someone else might find their answer in your words. And if you're still unsure, still wondering, still doubting, let me say this with love. The world will always doubt what it cannot measure. But heaven doesn't need proof to confirm what it created. You were designed differently, not for applause, not for perfection, but for purpose. Chosen one, breathe. Let this final part settle into the places in, much for too long. Let it echo through the timelines where your soul was waiting for this moment. Because now, we speak not just of the marks on your hand, but of the truth beneath your skin. You were never created to chase titles. You were designed to carry presence. And when you walk into a room, even silently, the atmosphere responds, not because of your charisma, but because of your code. Your M is not for your name, it's a mirror. And your crescent moon is not a shape, it's a signal. Both are witnesses of your assignment. And now, heaven is asking you to remember. Let go of the idea that you're behind. You're not delayed. You are deeply designed. Heaven never rushes its rarest creations. You've been wondering why isolation follows you, why you've had to cry in secret, why support rarely comes when you need it most. That is not punishment. That is positioning. The truth is, those who carry spiritual blueprints are trained in hidden places. And no. Begun. Let me speak into your memory now. Do you remember the first time you noticed the time was always 5:11? Or when 12:34 kept showing up as if counting down? Those weren't glitches. They were glimpses, proof that time bends around the chosen. Let me decode a few more divine numbers for you, new ones, just for those ready to see. 1010, a divine reset code. It means old contracts are ending, and heaven is drafting something new. A mirrored gateway. You're walking into the season your past self once dreamed of. 929. Completion meets purpose. You're at the door between what was and what will be. You are not random. You are a walking scroll. And everything in your life, every betrayal, delay, and moment of doubt has been pre-written into your becoming. You may not have seen it this way before, but your tears, each one was a language, a sacred form of spiritual currency. And heaven never ignores what the marked cry in silence. So if you've begged for answers through your breath, if you fought battles no one clapped for, know this now. It counted. Every sigh, every silent surrender, every why me, heaven heard it all. Because you didn't come here for ease. You came here for impact. And the ones who carry the letter M and the crescent moon are never casual souls. They are often born into chaos to learn how to command peace. They are placed in families that don't understand them because they're meant to break cycles. They feel things tenfold, so they can intercede without needing to be asked. You are not just chosen, you are charged. And your charging station is remembrance. That's what this video was. A sacred voltage to your spirit. Let's take a breath together. Not just a pause, but a prayer. Whisper this with me. I accept the call. I embrace the silence that shaped me. I honor the signs that follow me. And I rise into the reason I was marked. Say it again if you need to. Crying, especially if you're crying, because the M and the moon on your hand were never symbols of mystery. They were always evidence. You are not alone. You are part of a constellation. And now, before we close, let me ask you something deeply important. What has followed you all your life? Is it a number, a dream, an animal, a word no one else seems to say, but it won't leave your spirit? Drop it in the comments. Don't underestimate your testimony. What you share could be the moment of clarity for someone else who's been aching in silence. And if someone replies to you with pain, don't argue. Don't explain. Just anchor the light. Just remind them you're not alone. You're just marked. We don't fight with the dark here. We radiate through it. This comment section is not a space for debate. It's a sanctuary, a digital altar where the scattered souls of the marked gather to remember who they are. If someone comes with sarcasm, let their words comes with hunger, answer with your spirit. That's what chosen ones do. And now, if your heart is still stirring, still racing, still whispering, "This is me," then it is. You belong here. So, with warmth, not pressure, I invite you again to subscribe. Not because it's a trend, but because it's a tether, a sacred thread between souls who speak the same silent language. Every video from this channel is created like a map, not for the curious, but for the called. And if you're still watching, I don't need to convince you. I just want to welcome you to this circle of memory, to this table of code carriers. Let's go deeper still. Because sometimes, even after all the signs, you still wonder, why me? Why was I the one born into a family that didn't see me? Why do I feel everything so deeply that it hurts? Why have I loved people who never chose me back? Let me tell you something sacred. You were hidden in plain sight because your training required sile. Forgotten, but because you were being formed. Many chosen ones marked with the letter M and crescent moon carry a spiritual loneliness the world has no language for. It's the weight of knowing things others deny. It's the ache of seeing what others ignore. It's the strange grief of having a powerful inner world, but rarely being seen beyond the surface. That's not your imagination. That's your positioning. You weren't meant to blend in. You were sent to pierce through. Your silence was a school. Your heartbreak was a rite of passage. Your isolation was a chrysalis, not a cage. And now, Now you are beginning to emerge. That's why life may feel unstable right now, because you're no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. The spiritual realm calls this the thin space, the realm between what is ending and what is awakening. And in this space, things can feel surreal. Time moves strangely. People from your past reappear or vanish. You wake with you all day. You feel a vibration, like a hum under your skin. You start to remember who you were before the forgetting began. So listen closely. That trembling inside you is not fear. It's activation. You're not falling apart. You're being rebuilt from the inside out. The codes in your palm, the M, the Crescent, are not passive. They are prophetic technology. They respond to shifts in your timeline. They awaken when your purpose is close. They itch, glow, or even hurt when a spiritual transition is near. If you've been feeling heat, tingling, or a strange pull in your hands, you are not imagining it. The spiritual world is not just out there. It's in you. It's coded into your biology. It whispers through your heartbeat. It speaks in the language of energy and remembrance. And now, I want to give you a prophecy. Not a prediction, but a soul-level confirmation. Chosen one, within the next 21 days, something will unfold in your life that aligns with. Come as a dream, an unexpected message, a divine encounter, or even a silence so deep that it breaks something open. But watch for it, because the spiritual realm never speaks without fulfillment. The number 21 is important here. It represents completion of cycles, maturity of understanding, divine timing of spiritual upgrade. So write this down if you need to. In 21 days, what was hidden will be revealed. You won't need to force it. It will arrive on time, not on your schedule, but on heaven's. And now, I want to turn the mirror back to you. What part of this message pierced you most? Was it a sentence, a number, a symbol, a story? Comment it below. Let others feel your fire. Let others know they're not burning alone. This is how the marked find one another, not through search bars, but through resonance. Now here's something sacred I've never said in any other message. If you've come this far, then your assignment isn't just about receiving. With reverence, share this message, not because it's trending, but because someone in your life is aching silently. Someone is questioning if they're going insane. Someone is one breath away from forgetting who they are. You sharing this video might be the thread that pulls them back to the light, because that's what chosen ones do. We don't just survive. We remind, we rescue, we radiate. You don't need a stage to be prophetic. You don't need a title to be called. You don't need a pulpit to preach. Your hands preach. Your presence preaches. Your survival preaches. You're the living scroll. You're the walking altar. So when you close this video, don't forget what you heard. Don't let the noise of the world mute the memory in your spirit. Remember, you were not created to be understood. You were crafted to be remembered. And those who recognize your code, they won't just notice you, they'll bow to the divine in you. Because marked one's done. Guide, so shine, chosen one. Shine without apology. Shine like the signal you were always meant to be. Let me tell you something that may take time to fully digest. You are not meant to make sense to the world. You are designed to make sense to the spirit realm. Your path will never follow the traditional blueprint. Because you weren't made for repetition, you were made for revelation. And revelation is lonely before it's recognized. You're not late. You're invisible on purpose. Your light was hidden because the wrong people would have tried to claim it, control it, or corrupt it. So instead of applause, you were sent whispers. Instead of a stage, you were given dreams. Instead of popularity, you were handed clarity. That's how the divine protects what it values. Let's speak about mirrors. The world wants to show you mirrors of distortion. It wants to tell you that your sensitivity is weakness, that your solitude is sadness, that your spiritual perception is paranoia. But heaven sends different mirrors. It sends reflections that awaken, not distract. The example is not here to show you what you've been. It's here to remind you who you really are. Let this be the mirror you've been praying for, a place that reflects your divine blueprint back to you without filters, without dilution. You were never meant to conform to systems. You were born to recalibrate atmospheres. And now let's step beyond even the signs, beyond the animals, beyond the numbers. Let's talk about the frequency of your name. The sound of your name in the spirit carries more than syllables. It carries weight. Have you ever noticed how strangers hesitate before saying your name? Or how your name echoes in dreams, spoken by voices you can't see? That's because your true name is remembered in realms you haven't fully entered yet. And sometimes, when your earthly name is misused, mispronounced, or misunderstood, it's not rejection, it's protection. Because your real name vibrates on a level the world can't access without permission. And divine, not even you can ignore it. So if you've been feeling like something is calling you lately, it's not your imagination. It's your original identity trying to break through the noise. Let me leave you with this. There is a book not written on paper, but in energy. It carries the record of the marked, and your story is written there. Not in past tense, but in prophecy. And if you've ever heard silence that felt holy, if you've ever had a dream that felt older than your lifetime, if you've ever been awakened by a time, a name, a number, a whisper that no one else noticed, that means your page has turned. And your next chapter, it's not just coming, it's being activated right now.